So glad you could be with us. I'm with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Where We Are for the first time, Rustico in Ballston. A few weeks ago, for the first time, we taped at Rustico in Alexandria. Also, of course, the group includes Blue Jacket down by Nats Park. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Too right.
What do we have on tap this week?
So this week is a big week, I think, locally, because we have not a new brewery, but an existing brewery opening a new facility, and that's Aslin Beer Company.
Yes.
Coming in from Herndon. They are opening up their new gigantic brewery and tasting room complex over in the west end of Alexandria, Virginia. And so I thought it was a fitting time to drink an Aslin beer. This is called Trite. It is a 5.5% IPA. Delicious, nice and juicy. And yeah, here's how they're opening.
Good stuff. Cheers. Oh, that's real nice. And you said Trite?
Trite.
With a T.
Yeah, T-R-I-T-E.
Okay. Not trike.
No, Trite.
Okay.
Which I think, it's kind of a nod to the simple nature of this beer. It's only 5.5%, but very, very delicious, complex. It's brewed with Citra and Simcoe hops, so it's still really juicy, fruit forward, lots of pineapple, grapefruit, a little bit of bitterness, but it's a light, easy drinking kind of session IPA.
We are so lucky to have breweries like this, the Vale, the various breweries in DC.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing here. And these guys are always coming up with something new, but you got to kind of drink it when it comes out, right? Because they may not make this again.
And that's interesting. So Trite is a beer that they're making more consistently, and you'll see on draft around a little bit more. Now that they're opening their Alexandria facility, which is over on Pickett Street, you should check it out. This is like a 25,000 square foot brewery with a 3,500 square foot tasting room. They're going to be doing all their can releases out there, so if you're in DC or closer to DC, you don't have to go out to Herndon anymore. You can get it in Alexandria, which is great. And they do a lot of really cool stouts and obviously hazy IPAs, fruited sours primarily. But you're also going to have a whole host of beers that you can drink on tap at their tasting room, which is great.
And I don't know about many other people, but I'm figuring I'm not alone. But one of the go-to places when you go down to a Nats game, other than Blue Jacket, of course, is the Aslin pop-up.
But they're not doing it this year.
Because, I was going to ask. I should have asked ahead of time.
No, it's okay. They chose not to, unfortunately, because they were working so hard on opening this up. But all the more reason to go to Blue Jacket, which is why you brought that up. And in fact, where the Aslin beer garden was by Nats Stadium is now a Rockland's barbecue pit.
That's not bad
either. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
And now their new place is open now or opening soon?
Should be open this week.
This week.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Check it out.
Which will be, by the time this airs, last week, but it'll be open,
yeah,
so check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, go.
The week of the 15th.
He can do math too. Us radio people are really not very good
Hopefully
at math.
They're not delayed.
You know what? Radio.
I guarantee now that we just had that tete-a-tete, they're going to be delayed for some reason. But anyways, if not open yet, opening soon.
Is there something these guys are really doing right that you think some craft brewers miss?
That's a great question. I think they found their way early on making beers that the public loved, and they leaned into it. You know what I mean? And they make delicious beers. I think they've also evolved constantly. Like the beers they're making today are better than the beers they were making 2 years ago. I think all great breweries are constantly improving, and they're really good at that. I think their hazy IPAs are phenomenal. Nice, creamy, round on the palate, a little bit sweet, and they're consistent. And that, to your point earlier about like you kind of have to get it before it's gone. They specialize in rotation, but the good news is that everything is great.
Well, I can't wait to get over to their new place, and 5%, it's so good.
Delicious
beer. Really put a lot of these away. What would you pair it with?
I said a million times, now that IPAs have less bitterness and much more fruit character, they are a dream, I think, to pair with food. And I've been drinking this with all of its pineapple character with charcuterie, ham anywhere, Hawaiian pizza, Chinese takeout like crab rangoon and lo mein, pork fried rice. sweet and sour chicken. All that stuff is great. Admittedly, I also love to drink tiki drinks, so maybe that's where my mind
really?
is.
Wait a minute. This just in.
I know, exactly.
With the little paper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And there's quite a few really great tiki bars that have opened up around town. Archipelago is one that's down the street from Church Keys. You should check that out if you haven't been. Great Chinese, great tiki. But if you don't want to drink a super strong, sweet painkiller cocktail or hurricane, Aslin Trite is going to work with that food just as well.
Hurricanes only in NOLA. That's the other place you can drink those. Well, this is really good. And yeah, I like some of that pork fried rice. Sometimes they put pineapple in, which you mentioned, the Hawaiian pizza, so that'd be great. Well, Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you, my friend.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.